Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to the Spiritual Hangout. It's Leslie Damai, and I want to start off the video by saying thank you so much. I feel like the community is really growing here. I'm up to 208 subscribers, which to me is absolutely unbelievable because I've been trying to get over the 199 mark for so long. So I'm just so grateful that you guys are loving the message and watching the videos, sharing with your comments and everything. So thank you for that. And in today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about being very, very aware of your environment when you're out and about in the matrix. There's been a lot of glitches in the matrix lately, a lot of synchronicities, a lot of things that are mathematically impossible. This is what a synchronicity is. It's like something that defies math because it's literally impossible for some of these coincidences to happen in our lives. So I'll give you it's gonna be like a little story time action here. It's a beautiful day. The energy is incredible out today. It rained a lot yesterday, so everything's clear. There's no nanotech in the air as there usually is. So I'm breathing in a lot more and just like did a lot of aerokinesis. So I'm just charged for you today. But yeah, story time action here. All right, so let's start with a good story. All right, it's totally a glitched out matrix moment, but this one's actually kind of funny. So yesterday I went out to, I drove an hour and a half past LA, and I haven't even driven into LA this deep for months, okay? And just been avoiding the big cities and all of this. So I drove out and I'm coming back home. I still got another 40 minutes till I'm home, and I get a phone call from my sister. And also haven't really talked to my sister on the phone, just casually, for months as well. So I was really surprised to hear from her, really excited. We chatted and I'm on the freeway. All of a sudden she goes, what the heck? Why are there so many cop cars? And as she's saying that, I'm looking at about 8 to 10 cop SUV cars. And I'll put the picture here, take a look. And I go, oh my God, and I right away, I was like, I guarantee you, she's looking at the same thing I'm looking at right now. So she goes, I go, are you on this freeway near this exit? She goes, yeah. I go, I'm here too, sister. She was about 2 cars behind me. So we're cracking up and I'm just like, the hell is going on? Because she's about 35 minutes away from her house too. She goes, I'm just heading to like a work event meeting thing in downtown. And yeah, I go, what the hell? I go, like, what is happening? So she like drives by me. I take a picture of her. Don't do this while you're driving. I'm an expert by now, but so I'm driving, take a picture of her, and I'm like, there, and we're on the phone next to each other on the freeway, looking at each other, and this is life. Now, there's a couple things with this. So, was it a matrix glitch? Did she psychically sense that I was near her? Even if she didn't sense that I was near her and that's not why she called me, the fact that we were on the same freeway, on the same exit, driving past the same exit at that same moment, in such a situation like I haven't been on that freeway in months, is no coincidence. So this is what we call a matrix glitch. There are many of these things around us all the time. Be aware of how the matrix works. Sometimes it laughs at us in the face and it's kind of funny and it keeps us awake and it keeps us alert. So for myself, this was a sign to, Leslie, remember, stay awake, stay alert, stay completely conscious at all times. So that was really funny and, just one of those things. There's also certain people, certain characters in your life that are going to pop up and they serve as fillers in your life to make the simulation seem more realistic. And they're more of, they are more prominent in your matrix reality than other characters. So for example, I go to the gym, okay? I always see a few of the same people. And I just watched this episode on Rick and Morty, I believe the show is called. It's an animated show. It's freaking hilarious, by the way. And it was talking about the simulation and all this, and how there's always like the same characters out and about. So I was talking to my boyfriend about this, and I said, yeah, the gym's been great. I've been seeing the same people. And I go, there's always this one man there. He's one of the older trainers, and he always walks by every single time like clockwork. And he goes, because it's always me and my sister going, and he goes, good job, ladies. There you go, keep it up. And we always go, thanks, And when we watched this episode of Rick and Morty, there was a guy on the show that would pop up always too as part of the simulation. And he would be like, hey, what's happening? So it's like he was that guy that always just pops up with the, hey, ladies, good job, And so I thought that was hilarious. And there's a couple other people that are definitely characters that pop up all the time too. And I've been loving it. So, I can look at it and I can be like, all right, you are an NPC possibly, right? You are an NPC in this reality, and you are popping up, and it's definitely making the simulation seem really realistic if you're not aware. And so that's another thing, like who's in your life popping up that's always doing that kind of same little slogan in your life, just be aware. We all have these types of people and characters in our lives that are always like that. For example, somebody in my life, I'm not going to say who, but somebody personal in my life, they're older. They always tell me the same exact thing, like clockwork. I mean, some of these NPCs are on the craziest loops that their loop cycles are so short that their script is only about, 1,000, 500 words. They say the same things over and over. So every single time I see this person, almost every day that I see this person will say the same exact thing every time, like clockwork, like I said. So they'll always say, oh my gosh, you're so tall. Did you stretch? And I go, yeah, I guess I'm a growing girl, I guess still. And they'll always say, this is a part that irks me, because this is like the demiurge talking through them, and this poor lady has no idea. And she always goes, hey, don't let them steal you. And I'm like, ooh, that always gets me. And I'm better at it now. Like, I don't react now, and I go, no, they won't. Don't worry. They're not going to do that. And so this person in particular is unfortunately very low conscious. And so they get hijacked by the demiurge. And the demiurge basically runs our reality. If you're not aware, they run our reality. They're the ones that are puppeteering our politicians, and they are the ones that have infiltrated Mother Earth and taken over everything, the climate, the programs that people are obsessed over, the fear-based mongering, all of this stuff. So the demiurge can take vessels and hijack the vessel temporarily, And so when this person comes to me and they grab me, or I don't like, I don't not want to touch this person. And, energy really can be transferred with touch, but, I have enough light to where I'm okay with it. I will touch this person because I love them. You know what I mean? Also, don't be touching strangers. Don't let people get too close into your energetic space. Always hold your boundaries, okay? But this person in particular, every single time they say this, it's just like, I'm not going to say fuck you, demiurge, but trust me, my higher self is talking to them, and I immediately shake that off. I will not call out the demon in this woman because she is very elderly. But I have had to call out demons in people and let them know my boundaries so that they do not interfere with me in their, so that they don't interfere with me. Because some people, that just unfortunately are just not completely all there, they are very easily targeted by these forces. And just because you can't see them doesn't mean that they're not there. And just because you see a person doesn't mean that who they are, what they look like, is actually what's inside. So be careful of these characters. You've probably noticed certain people saying things to you that it's like a joke or something, and it's not a joke. Okay, it's not a joke. It's intended to cast a spell on you, or it's intended to promote fear. Okay. And it's very, it can be very aggravating, and luckily I'm conscious of this, but some people, why would you say that to somebody leaving their house like that? There's no other explanation. That is not normal to do that. Again, that is not a coincidence. So here's a third story. This video is getting 10 minutes long. I want to wrap up soon. All right, here's the third story. And, I'm very hesitant to get to talk about it. But then I decided I'm going to talk about this, because the only reason I am not talking about it is because it would be stemming from a place of fear within me. So I am going to say it. Okay? I did a amazing meditation and I activated everything, and I was just tapping my heart and I said, I speak my truth. I have mastered communication. And so I'm going to continue to build up on this intention I have set today, and just this remembrance that we can master all of our energy centers. And I think the most beautiful way to do that is to express yourself and to share your truth, and if it in any way can bring awareness to others. And so that's why I'm going to share this story with you guys. Okay, so there has been some gang stalking going on, and basically, gosh, there's so many different types of ways you can get gang stalked. And some of the information that I have found on YouTube on gang stalking is really unsettling. There are a lot of just unbalanced people that share their experiences of getting gang stalked. And basically, I'm going to just kind of share the gist of it. I'm going to share to you how I've been gang stalked. Okay, have you seen The Truman Show? In The Truman Show, there's a part in the movie where he starts to realize that everything around him seems to be coerced, right? Just like the man at the gym. Hey, ladies, good job. Just like all of this. And so there's a moment in the movie where he recognizes his father, but his father's supposed to be dead. And so he tries to run after his father. Okay. All of a sudden, a parade runs through him, blocking him from seeing his father. Like, cute, right? It's like a movie. So all of a sudden, he gets two of his coworkers, potential clients, coming up to him, asking him to that they want to do business with him. And he's like, whoa, get out of the way. I need to go. He's trying to catch up to his father. And so everything all of a sudden around him gets in his way from blocking him from seeing the truth. Okay? Gosh, this happens all the time. This happens all the time when, just think, have you ever been meditating or just in the zone, and then you get interrupted each time? Or you're having this moment of awakening and something gets in the way. Or perhaps you're finally doing your own thing, you're in your zone, and then something interferes. And it could be something like someone calling you with some drama. It could be someone trying to suck you into their reality, like, oh, I need help with this, and what about that? It can be all of these stories. And so in The Truman Show, you'll notice, same thing, he keeps saying he wants to live his dream and take a vacation in Tahiti. He's never been anywhere. And all of a sudden, everywhere around him, people need him, and they're trying to suck him into that reality. So this happens to us all the time, and there's deeper levels for some of us where it's so obvious. Where as soon as you're trying to raise your consciousness, shit will come up. You'll get choppers coming by you. You'll get people. You'll get super loud cars. This has happened to me when I've been filming like spacecrafts in the sky. I have footage of all of this. I have footage of this, and all of a sudden the matrix turns on, and I'm in a neighborhood. It's all dark, and all of a sudden, like clockwork, I'm filming the spacecraft, and a black car rolls in, revving its engine, no lights on at night, black on black on black, and a woman at the same time the car goes by. So everything, there's grid lines all around our environment. Everything runs on grid lines here. So on that same grid line, that car drives by me. A woman walks out of her house, turns the light, and stands at the porch. So these two grid lines merge right in front of me, trying to block me off. And so why does the matrix do this? Because it wants to keep our conscious as low as possible. And it can sense energy. It can sense our energy field opening up, and it doesn't like it. So in the United States in particular, they're very good at shutting down people's energies. Not only do they hit us with frequencies throughout the air, but as soon as you raise your frequency, it sends something your way. And I mean, so here's my story. Oh my goodness, I'm going off 15 minutes. Okay, so here's my story. I was visiting a family member, and I saw a van pull up to get gas at the same gas station I was at, and I was done getting gas, so I was just in my car. There is a man sitting in the car. He is in a Pepsi van. Okay, this was a few days before the Super Bowl, and which was so eerie because then the Super Bowl came around and it was all sponsored by Pepsi, and I feel like I haven't seen Pepsi in forever. I feel like it's been all about Coca-Cola, and so all of a sudden Pepsi's all up in the mix, and it's a Pepsi van. And the man I could tell he was looking at me, and I remember thinking, I go, you know, as ladies, you know how this goes. I remember thinking like, I don't even look that cute, but I'm going to just close my energy off a bit, right? I don't like to get attention like that in public. I like to keep to myself because there are too many NPCs, there are too many agents Smiths out there. I like to just stay in my bubble. So this man looks at me in the van. He's about 40 years old, kind of bald, has a belly, white Caucasian. And I go, he has his creepy, just pressed blue button up that just goes up to here, you know, his little uniform, just blue collar or white collar. Yeah, blue collar. He just hasn't, you know. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I drive to my other sisters, and then we go to the beach. So this was probably about 12, 13 miles, maybe even more. We went to a beach kind of far away, and we park in the most random parking lot, just the most random parking lot you can park. We go to the beach. I go back to my car to put money into this meter. Well, here's my car parked on my same grid line. 2 cars down, there is a white van, and then guess what's behind it? The Pepsi van. I had seen the Pepsi man probably 2 hours before that, and I said, oh hell motherfucking no, I'm being followed. He went about 4 cities away and ended up 2 parking spots behind me. No, that's not a coincidence. Sorry. Okay, so I walked up to him and I said, were you in beep beep, I won't say the city, I'll make up a city name. I'll say, were you in Fort Collins this morning? And he said, yeah, I was. I said, what are you doing here? He said, oh, I'm just eating my lunch. And it was still early. It was before noon. You followed me here. I said, I don't believe in coincidences. So I turned around, I filmed the back of his car, I filmed his license plate. I had my phone out the entire time. Well, when I took the film, it was in slow motion, and so I couldn't even watch it, but I found a way to slow it down. I don't know how it got to slow motion either. That's just something glitched out, you know? Of course it did. And I filmed him, and I was pissed. I was so pissed that this man followed me. That is an invasion of privacy. So I don't know, I was livid. And when I talked to the man, he seemed kind of scared, to be honest. He was like, oh, I live there. I live in Fort Collins. And I'm like, nah. He goes, I'm just eating my lunch. I go, nah. So I left. I was pissed. All right. I'd say, so when was the Super Bowl? I guess it's been like a month and a half, 2 months. And I was leaving the same sister. I was leaving her house. And this time I was driving back another way. Dude. I sensed someone behind me. I'm driving. I sensed like there's someone behind me, and it was a big lifted truck. And I thought, okay, this is kind of like, you know, whatever. 2 seconds later, I see a Pepsi van. I sensed the Pepsi man 2 cars behind me. And now this time the van was a little different. I haven't seen a Pepsi van since. This time the van was a little different. It was an older model. And I said, oh, hell no. The Pepsi man is back, trying to get into my grid lines. So I took my camera out, of course, and so I'm driving this way. He's about right here at this point. I felt him when he's behind me. He came out this way. We get to a red light, and he's a few cars behind me still, because I'm wanting to, I'm wanting to make some eye contact. Like, I see you. And, oh, hell no. Guess what he did? So the light turns green. And I'm like, I'm not driving until he drives past me. He would not fucking drive. All the cars in front of him were gone. So the 2 cars that were between us here in these 2 lanes left. And I'm like, it's fucking him. He doesn't want me to see him. So I was pissed. And I wasn't going to move either. So I put my emergency lights on, and I stayed in the middle of the street, not moving until he passed my way. So he drove by, and I still couldn't see him that well. He had his arm up like this. I have this all on film. He had his arm up like this. So I started following him, and I followed him, and guess where he ended up? He ended up pulling in to the same gas station where I freaking saw him the first time. So both of these things happened to me. This last time I saw PEPSI Man was last week. I was on Friday. Yeah, Friday. And the whole thing with my sister, where she was 2 cars behind me on the freeway, happened yesterday. So, my loves, please pay attention to your environment. Pay attention to the characters that creep up when you're trying to be high conscious. Keep track of the characters that are trying to lower your vibration. Notice how people make you feel after you leave them. Notice the glitches. There's so many more stories, dude. I mean, I can just go on and on. Even that day I went to the day that I saw the PEPSI Man, same dude walks by 4 times on the green belt by the beach. 4 times. And then, because we were in the car talking, when I get back to my car, an hour and a half, 2 hours later, same dude walking by, doing nothing, just walking. We went to the bathroom, the public bathroom there. Woman pulls up with her car, gets out, acts like she's gonna walk somewhere. And then we walk back to our car, I get in my car. She ends up parking next to us. 2 minutes later, so we walked from the bathroom to the car, we sat in there. She ends up parking next to us and doing the same thing, grabbing her bag and just walking out again. Bitch, where are you going? There's like only houses here. Did you park in the wrong area? Like, I don't know. You were already parked like 10 spots this way. Why'd you have to all of a sudden park next to us and get out and do the same thing again? So I'm like, are they running out of characters or what's going on? So you guys just stay awake, stay aware. Even if you don't believe where I'm coming from, I guarantee you, if you just open your mind up, you're going to start to notice these things. And it's not that whole phenomenon where if you think green, you're going to see green everywhere. No, these things are greater than that. So stay awake, stay aware. Thank you for watching. Love you guys so much. Let me know if you like story time. Share some of your stories here. Where have you seen the Matrix glitch? There's so many more stories I have about this, you guys. I mean, and the great thing is I keep it all on film. I suggest you guys do the same thing too. All right, have a beautiful day, and I will see you guys soon. Mwah.